Hey guys, it's Caitlin. Today's video is going to be my mid-year book freakout tag. Now I know this is just a little bit late. I have been having trouble finding time to film. So yeah, let's just get right on in. The first question is the best book you've read so far this year. And for this one, I chose Geekerella by Ashley Poston. This was a 5 out of 5 star read for me. I absolutely loved this book. It's about a girl who is basically Cinderella in her family. Her stepmother makes her do everything. Her stepsisters are mean to her. And she is obsessed with this, I can't even remember. It's a TV show called Starfield. And there's a movie that is coming out as like a reboot of the old Starfield series. And she's not a big fan of the main actor in this new movie that's coming out. And then it follows the two perspectives. Follows Elle and Darian. Darian is the lead actor in this new Starfield movie, and he's trying to get out of having to go to this Comic-Con thing. So he texts a number, and it happens to be Elle, and it's just them texting back and forth. It was so good. You just need to pick it up and read it. I highly recommend this one. Next is the best sequel you've read so far this year, and I chose Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I read This Savage Song this past month. I read that in June, and then this one also came out in June, and I read this one. And I liked this one, I think, a lot better than I liked the first one. I mean, the first one was really good, but I still like this one way better. This series is about monsters and friendship. In this, pretty much if you sin, it becomes like a monster, and the monsters are really bad, except for the main character in this. He wants to be human, and he's pretty awesome, and I like him. But yeah, Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab is the best sequel I've read so far this year. Question 3 is a new release that you have yet to read. And I chose The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I have been meaning to pick this one up. I've heard so many really good things about this book, and for some reason I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'm hoping within the next couple of months I'm able to pick this one up. All I know about it is the main character has 26 unrequited loves. She has 26 crushes and no boyfriends. And that's about all I know about it. But like I said, I've heard really good things, and I am hoping that I love this. Question number 4 is my most anticipated release in the second half of the year. And I think my most anticipated release is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. It's the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series, and it follows Chaol. And I am just super excited for that. All I know about it is it's Chaol's book. And it was supposed to be a novella, but there was so much that she wanted to tell that she just made it the 6th book in the series. And that comes out on September 5th, so it's coming up soon, and I'm so excited. Number 5 is The Biggest Disappointment. And the biggest disappointment for me was The Night Circus. I wanted to love this. I loved Caraval, and I've been told that if you liked Caraval, you'll like this book. And I just didn't. It took me a while to get through this book, and I don't know why. I feel like maybe it's because I feel like it might be adult fantasy, and if that is it, that might be why, because I don't generally read adult fantasy books. I didn't think the competition was necessary. I liked the idea of this night circus coming to be because these two characters were chosen when they were like 6 years old to compete in this competition with their real magic abilities. And the Night Circus was created as the venue for their competition, and I really liked all the ideas of all the different tents that were built by these two characters, but I just felt like the competition was completely unnecessary, and I feel like that might be what made me not really care for this book. But yeah. That's The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Question number 6 was my biggest surprise so far this year, and I chose A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I loved this book, and that surprised me because I do not generally like adult fantasy, and I really, really enjoyed this book. V.E. Schwab has become one of my auto-buy authors. When she writes adult fantasy, it's V.E. Schwab. When she writes young adult, it is Victoria Schwab. So I already read her young adult books, The Monsters of Verity duology, which would be This Savage Song and Art Art Duet, and I loved both of those. And I loved this one, and I cannot wait to continue with this series. Question number 7 is your favorite new author, and for this one I chose Ashley Poston, who is the author of Geekarella. I absolutely loved her book, like I said before, and she has become one of my auto-buy authors. I will buy anything she puts out. I think she has another book coming out either late this year or early next year. I can't quite remember when, but I will definitely be picking that one up. The next question was originally your newest fictional crush, but I do not like crush on fictional characters. It's just, I never have. So I'm going to do what Books and Lala did and change this question to my favorite new character. And I'm choosing Dimple from When Dimple Met Rishi. I loved that book, and I loved Dimple. She knew what she wanted and she went for it. She did not care what her parents wanted for her, which they wanted her to get married to the ideal Indian husband, is how they phrased it. And she wanted nothing to do with that. She wanted to go to college for, what was it, computer coding? Like building apps and stuff. I just thought that was so cool how she knew what she wanted and she went for it. My answer for the next 2 questions is the same. The 2 questions are a book that made you cry and a book that made you laugh. And for this one I chose The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. I just finished this book last night actually, and it was so good. I plan on doing a review for it. But this book is about a girl named Alex. There's 3 different perspectives. There's Alex, PK, and Jack. Alex is the main character. Her sister Anna was murdered like 3 years ago, I think it was. And Alex is pissed because the person who killed her sister walked because there was not enough evidence to convict him. So she took matters into her own hands. Alex is a very violent person. You find that out throughout the book, how violent she actually is. But this book made me cry. The ending of it made me cry because, like, towards the beginning of the book, I was like, this character, I cannot stand her. She is one of those people who her personality makes me want to punch her in the face. But towards the end of the book, I really began to love her, and the ending of it just made me so sad. I just cried and cried. But this book also made me laugh, which is question number 10. It also made me laugh because there were some parts in here where Alex pretty much just said whatever came to her mind. And one of the funniest things, I remember I was sitting at my sister-in-law's house and I was reading and I just burst out laughing because Alex dick punched somebody. And it's funny because they literally said Alex just dick punched him, and I just thought that was so funny. So yeah, that's The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. Number 11 is my favorite book-to-movie adaptation that came out this year. I don't think I've watched a book-to-movie adaptation other than Beauty and the Beast, which I'm fairly certain was a book prior. Well, yeah, because it's a fairy tale, so duh. So yeah, it would be Beauty and the Beast. I just recently watched that movie again, and I absolutely loved it. And I want to watch it right now. Number 12 is my favorite review that I've done, and I haven't done very many reviews, so I'm just going to skip this one. Number 13 is the most beautiful book I've bought this year, and for this one I chose Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. I just thought this book was absolutely gorgeous. I love the greens and the blues mixed together, and the cover is just so simple. I just love it. This book is about a girl and her friend who is a boy. She buys him a lottery ticket for his 18th birthday, and he ends up winning. And I guess it's about all the repercussions of winning the lottery, like how it changes your life and stuff, which I thought was pretty awesome. So I'm hoping to read this one very soon. And the last question is a book that you need to read by the end of the year. And for this one, I chose this behemoth, Under the Dome by Stephen King. I have never read a Stephen King book, and I have made it one of my goals to read one of his books before the end of the year. This is currently the only one I own, and it is over 1,000 pages. It is so big and heavy and ridiculous, and I'm scared to read it, but I'm also super excited. I also really have no idea what this is even about, other than like this town has this invisible dome around them and they have to try and figure it out why, I think is what it is. I don't know, but it's Stephen King and I really want to read it and accomplish my goal, so yup. So that was my mid-year book freakout tag. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye!